Whales are masters of the oceans. The marine mammals are the largest of living creatures found on the planet. They cover huge distances in their migrations. Sadly, from time to time, things do not go as they should for these animals, who on occasion end up becoming beached. Everything from changes in the tides, melting icebergs, and shifting food sources have been claimed to force whales to veer off course, this causing them to swim into unfamiliar and shallow waters and possibly even beach themselves. Some say human involvement is to blame. In some cases, a whale may end up beached because it has already died and the tide washed its body ashore. So how could the remains of an animal of such size be found miles from a beach? Why are whales showing up in odd, random locations? Let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history, mystery and the strange. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video again. Starting here in Thailand, and the sad news that the rotten carcass of a brooder whale was found by local residents deep in a mangrove forest in Tambun Bang Pumai of Sumatrakan's Muang district. The brooder whale is a cetacean that can reach 40 to 55 feet in length. It is found worldwide in warm, temperate and tropical waters, just like those of the Gulf of Thailand, which Sumatrakan is located near. Sumatrakan is a stone's throw from the capital city of Bangkok and is at a junction of the Chao Phraya River and the Gulf of Thailand. On January 26, the carcass of a female whale measuring in at around 12 meters long and weighing over 15 tons were found and then examined. These remains were found to be free from injury. Namanok Bancherd Heran Samut of the Napa Gulf of Thailand Conservation Group said he was told 3 days prior that a deceased brooder whale had been seen floating in the Gulf near the river's mouth, some 15 kilometers from Sumatrakan coastline. He and team members had searched for it but were unsuccessful in finding the animal. It then came to his attention that villagers had found a large whale carcass washed aground in a mangrove swamp about 500 meters from the road to Tambun Bang Pumai. The following Monday, the Chonburi-based 2nd Marine and Coastal Resource Office coordinated with volunteers for marine protection in Tambun Bang Pumai to remove the whale carcass to an appropriate area for examination to establish the cause of death. This investigation is still ongoing. Now, this report does not seem too extraordinary, even with a suspicious cause of death, but it sent me on the search, and I hit upon 2 more stories of beached whales. The difference with these marine mammals is that their remains were found miles from the ocean. Digging deeper, I uncovered a theory that possibly points to alien involvement. The first case did receive a lot of attention online. A dead humpback whale left researchers dumbfounded after it was discovered deep in Brazil's Amazon jungle. The whale lay approximately 15 meters from the shore of Araruna Beach along the Majores Bay in Source, Brazil. Local authorities commented when quizzed on the whale, saying that the spotting of a whale in the region at that time of year was quite rare. This whale was of a similar size to the animal found in Thailand, measuring about 8 meters long and 10 tons in weight. And in yet another similarity with the Thai whale, a team from the region's municipal Securitate of Health, Sanitation and Environment said the carcass did not appear to have any visible injuries. The 2 prevailing theories as to how the whale ended up in the brush are either a powerful tide launched the whale inland, or the whale died at sea and was carried onto the land by people. But could there be a third choice? A choice which would need us to look to the stars to find an answer. Before I look at the extraterrestrial connection, let's hear about the third whale. A dairy farmer from the small town of Farmington near the Great Salt Lake in Utah made an unexpected and remarkable discovery on his property while out looking for a cow that had wandered off. The 69-year-old farmer, A1 Michael Woodson, found a 12-meter-long humpback whale laying lifeless in the middle of one of his fields, hundreds of kilometers away from its natural habitat. Again, an animal around the same dimensions as the other two whales. There seems to be a pattern forming here. Police were called as the man thought this may be a creepy prank by some neighborhood kids. This idea was quickly put to bed as there were no traces of vehicles or movement of the beast, the police admitting that they were at a loss as to how the carcass got there. "We have to admit that we find this case very puzzling," said Captain Terry Dawson from the Farmington Police. "It is certainly the first time that we see anything like this in our city, and we have very little information for now as to how the animal got there," he added. And this is when our old friends from outer space enter the story. A few witnesses reported seeing some strange flying objects in the area over the 2 days prior to the whale being found. The authorities have confirmed that 911 operators had received a few dozen calls from all over the region reporting the sightings. "We are verifying every clue and information that we have, and I assure you that we will explore every other possibility before we conclude that a UFO has anything to do with this case," added Captain Dawson. A team of biologists from the nearby University of Utah were called to the site to examine the remains of the whale. The scientists are trying to determine if the animal could have actually lived in the Great Salt Lake, which is only a few kilometers away from the farm. This case taking a turn for the cryptid, as lake-living whales have been proposed as an answer to the many sightings of lake monsters around the globe. As for what killed the animal, you guessed it, no injuries were found, and the biologists are still testing the whale to find out what killed the humpback. Let's look at the alien angle to this story. The practice of cattle mutilation has long been reported, and it is not just bovine animals that are targeted. Everything from horses to people have been said to be victims of extraterrestrial abduction and experimentation. Aliens abducting whales to analyze them fits with the pattern of reported behavior. UFologist and YouTuber Scott C. Waring wrote in his blog UFO Sightings Daily, "Whales are often taken by UFOs, analyzed and then returned, but sometimes animals are returned to a location that is not hospitable to them. Apparently, the alien who took this whale had no idea that they only live in water. It looks like aliens make a lot more mistakes than I thought." This alleged mistake of returning the whales to the wrong place makes no sense to me. The extraterrestrials would understand that animals need to be in a certain environment to survive, and I think it shows more of a disregard for the animal. Once they had learned what they needed, they unceremoniously dumped the carcass. This also highlighting the lack of concern that they have in regards to us, humanity, learning of their existence and what they are doing. Some more down-to-earth reasons have been given. These include stranded calves. These animals may have been traveling with mothers and could have gotten lost or separated during their migratory cycle between the two continents. These animals alone failed to survive, died, and were washed inland along rivers by the tides and weather. Maybe large waves pushed their bodies far inland. Now, that has me more confused. It would have to be some wave to carry the remains of a humpback whale 5 miles inland through a populated area and then deposit it on a farm in Farmington, Utah, all with no witnesses. What do you think is moving these whales to locations they have no place being? Is it extraterrestrials, bad weather, or just pranksters? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.